Hey, it's me, Libluini, your friend from the world of Dominion 6. We are back in the late age, and we are fighting as Caelum, led by the CEO of CCP, the maker of the multiplayer online game EVE Online. Yes, it's about spaceships and this is about magic, but considering the physics in EVE Online, it's both magic. Let's be serious here. So tons of messages and diplomacy of Discord spilling over into the game. What happened on Discord is several players sent me messages. One of them wants to trade, the other wants to join to let me join in a war of aggression or proactive defense, I guess you could call it, against Andromania, the yellow guys with dog heads just next to us. Since Raga has already invaded, we probably have to vulture a bit, gain 1 or 2 provinces, but as long as the player of Andromania doesn't pull out a really big reversal, that's pretty much it. He is now fighting 2 enemies, and I'm just glad that I'm not fighting currently 0. But let's take it from the top before we go into the deep politics here. JD Wankian Casting, one of our pretenders, got to claim the silver throne. Good for him. And Hilmar Weiger Peterson managed to claim the throne of dreams for us. So now people are getting lazier. But we're getting more gems, more dominions points. Our dominion will grow stronger as a result. And of course we got something extra I'm showing off next time. Also, the Juggernaut bitch, the patron of Fabulous, the prince of arcane mysteries, has now planted the Mother Oak, one of the earliest global spells you can get, which now means he gets some more nature gems. Fine, I guess. Then, our first real good find, this guy, the Harem Seraph, has found a magic site in the Godstorm Mountains, right here in the middle, and it's the battlefield which gives us 1 death gem. Well, as a combined Earth-Air Death Nation, I guess this is fine. I really need more air and earth. Astral, of course, would also be kind of cool. Instead, we now have glamour gems. We probably have to trade away to find any use for them. Or I have to empower someone in glamour magic. Well, that's Caelum for you. No glamour at all. Just people with wings and spears. And our caretaker hasn't found anything, and I'm not surprised. One of our crippled units died. Then we have some battles. This is just a commander testing an independent throne for fantasy China. Then we have here Raga. And I had to look 2 times here because I keep forgetting Raga is just a kind of temperature reversed Caelum. They have heat resistance instead of air and shock and ice resistance, but as you can see, they can also go in both directions. In this guy, the Ice Clad Sayadans are basically just a flag swap of our Ice Clads. So looking at it, I can't really see any difference. I think they're... Oh, careful, my cat nearly trashed my desk here. Yeah, the protection is a bit low, and it could also be of not enough ice going around. Aerial light infantry is just literally what we have. They have in Iceland, and we are recruiting the guys with swords. That's the only difference. They have this Shah, which is a priest leader, which we don't have. Yeah, Raga is kind of a weird nation. You can either go all in on ice, like this player seems to go, or all in on heat. If you mix things up, you're gonna get into trouble, because both kinds of units are kind of reversed. You don't want ice protection units in a hell world, and you don't want people with firepower in an icy frozen wasteland. That's just bad. So in this case, the Khaleesi commander, a guy with a dog head, and his friends, basic militia units and friends. Careful. My cat tries to throw stuff off my desk and it's annoying me. So, this is a battle. Well, let's look at it. We have It's just flying dudes like ours, and they get blessed. Kind of. Oh, I didn't see this first, but ice-clad Silence are sacred units. Not like our ice-clads, who definitely aren't. Probably because the bad guys of the earlier ages have taken over, and so our secrets are now those weird flying dudes who rip their own what's the thing on the back? They rip their own wings off. Haha, yeah. So, but enough about our weirdos and theirs. There's another battle where Feminie, with an unseen one. It's an interesting unit. Fairly good stats, but not enough. They had some wild ones, sacred units that are hard to hit. But elves are better. They are stealthy, 90 stealth, and glamour. So in other words, it's kind of hard to see them. And for stealth units, they aren't too bad. But this surprise attack was not enough to dislodge all those flying units stabbing a lot. I managed to only kill 2 and lose 6, but this was simply not enough for this batch of defense, especially since it's Raga itself. No idea what this was meant to be. After the battles, then we had some random events. Northangs gave us some nature gems. Dragon Ridge gave us a treasure. More gems, a lion pelt I probably never going to remember that I have, and nearly 1000 pounds of gold. Useful. Now I don't regret doing all this building last turn, and the turn before. Hilmar, Olga Peterson has foreseen a major event. Stars alright for blood magic. Well, tough shit, we don't have any blood magic. Oh, this is now our throne, the Throne of Dreams, and before we go on, this means as soon as I have a laboratory I can recruit the Sage. Sage is, well, not really good at anything, except he has +8 researcher, which means his normal 8 ability turns into 16 and suddenly he's a great and cheap researcher. He's also our very own recruitable astral mage, and we'll probably recruit a shitload of them, and if I don't need more research in the endgame, I can just let them walk around with other astral mages we will then hopefully have summoned, and then we can use magic to boost our astral mages. Adept researcher, and that's another drawback, so automatically old age, which means they will collect bad status effects and diseases like cats attract fleas. 60, yeah, as soon as you're over the value of normal age, the game starts rolling, especially during winter, and since we're a cold nation, those will be extra harsh for those poor old guys. You can expect that about 12 turns after I started recruiting them, the first will start dying. And we can't even see how much they cost, but probably not much since they're a really cheap mage. And I will immediately start recruiting them as soon as I can. So now up, since I have more money, I can now construct a laboratory. Then I can use this guy here to construct a temple, and Hilmar can be able, before he nopes out of this province, search for magic sites. Since there's a good possibility we find something. I think the library, yes, the library is even separate from the Throne of Dreams. Throne of Dreams gives us all this stuff like Dominion gets magic +1, which means easier research for us, and our mages can't cast better, but enemy mages can do the same. Sloth means less income for everyone. Dominion spread +2 is good, ascension points. It's only important if we can get more thrones in the future. And we get 3 glamour gems, and oh, I forgot, 1 astral pearl. Oh, that's something I like to see. For some reason I overlooked the astral pearl. So we are now up to 2 shiny astral pearls per month, so that's a nice start. We are now catching up with our air income, because none of our weird fucking mages find anything. And this prevents done for this turn. Fort construction continues, and we are labbing and templing this up, and this already ate much of our money for this turn. After that, our patrolling caught a lot of shit. We got the scout of Pythium, then we marked another Scopets. Oh, thank you, Bucharest, this is real nice. And then we even caught another scout from Tenshi sitting here around here. We also killed 30 filthy brigands, which means probably just people who stood in the way of our swords. So our population went down a little bit. Unrest is now again 0, and we got some really nasty units slash commanders out of here. And now I have to keep patrolling because this red eye in a triangle shows me there is still spy activity down here. Well. Oh, I have a laboratory here, and we are still building up a fortress, so we need 2 more turns before we can start for real. Right now we have this really weird problem that Harab Sarovs would take 2 turns, which... Wait, what the hell am I doing? 2 turns means it's at least 1 guy more than I otherwise could recruit. So now let's go and... Oh, yeah, that's funny. No, my friends, you can go down here and be the defender of this guy. And you idiots can help our good Lord Shan here to not immediately die to the weakest possible assassin. And you can go here. Yeah, 3 should be more than enough. And then we can start piling up units here. I'll probably go up as far as 20, just in case, because with stealth 40, inevitably someone will notice these guys. So if I use them, they should have at least some punch to them. 20 seems to be a nice medium, because if I put 50 in there, it would give me something like an immediate chance of 50%. That's a bit high. Stealthy troops can move undetected. Value is estimate of the number of patrolling required to have a 50% chance of discovering the unit, the stealthy unit. I have no idea how this is interacting with pure numbers, but I'm remembering that the more of those stealthy units you have, the easier you make it for other guys. But even if not, 40 means, in theory, 40 units patrolling have a 50% chance of finning them. So this means if someone just sets, say, 80 units, a medium-sized army, in other words, to patrolling, then we will already have a 100% chance of being discovered. But in this case, I would really like the Ravenlord to at least inflict some losses instead of just being piled under. Since I can fly on all and inflict some damage possibly. Probably even sets them to attack the back row immediately. Since then it takes something like 1 turn to fly over, there should be enough. And if the enemy is prepared, then regardless of what I'm doing, it would still not work out anyway. So, oh yeah, I should probably collect these guys at some point. So my scout, you should run away just in case, and I'll send you up here. Here's the first political update. The army marched into Vettiheim and is now out of visual range for us, so that's one possible conflict negated. Then the army at our borders has continued past our borders to beat up Bucharest some more. And Man is also in the action here, that's a possible conflict. Good, because Patala is kind of big right now. Raga is also growing and eating up Andramania, and Andramania was nice enough to fortify its border. So I should probably claim Troll Canyon if I have the chance, just so I have a fortress on my west in addition to all this shit. Now of course are still quite well organized defenders here. Of course, the way Raga is invading, I probably have to do something fast. I should probably look at what's in my capital. Here we're still building everywhere. Now we have these guys here. While auto research is going on. The other guy is hopefully searching this turn, because otherwise I'll probably start using my own clicking fingers again. So, Vida Fana is this guy here. And then I have this guy with big stompy. Okay, Gabuva, you can possibly go back home together with my prophet. My prophet is faster, as you can see, since he can just fly over. My elephants and sacreds will take a bit longer. And then I have... Okay, yeah, I could give this one a shortcut to spells, just in case the AI is getting weird, in case something bad happens. Then I have a leader that can go anywhere. In this case there is a Lord of Ravens. Yeah, it's possible I'll probably not do much in Faircliff. That's until there is some more time that has passed. Oh, here's the arena, which gives more province income. I didn't even notice it. And at least it doesn't give me more unrest. I think there is some unrest here. Because it's still from our conquest a turn ago. So, I'm guessing you guy will go to Jelena Goa, since that looks a bit more defensible. Most of Padala's troops are south of me and will probably hit Faircliff first if there is something untoward happening. And then I can just stealthily pile up Ravenlord units here. I can even put him to hide, which makes him invisible to anyone spying on us. And with our prophet back in Caelum, I can then finish up a new army. So let's go down the list here. Okay, Stipai, my friend, you can wait until you're back in the rotation. Instead, I'll give Gauri elephants and more sacreds. So now this is almost ready to be part of a second army. Then more raptors and more basic infantry units. And then I have... Oh, I'm also recruiting heavier raptors, I guess. Protection 14, yeah, very funny. Okay, am I now allowed to look, game? Am I? That's protection 12, yeah. As I thought, I have apparently mixed some of the hardier guys within. But yeah, we still have tons and tons of resources. Not as much as earlier. So, since I've now begun recruiting, yeah, let's do it like this. It's time to go full Harab Elder here. And now I've run out of money. And we can now recruit one sacred less. But since we now have a really unholy amount... Wait, I can't just go reset, right? Reset recruitment. So, Harab Elder, do we have? Yeah, no, 0 chance of Astral. Ah, fuck it. Because our Harab Elders would really profit from being able to power up using Astral. That's always kind of funny. So let's go 1 Mammoth a turn, and as many Earthbound as we can get. Followed by some of the heavy duty Raptorian warriors, the heaviest we can get. I mean, I could go to the Storm Guard. They do have shock resistance. Of course, they are also kind of a heavy investment. Let's take it. 10 gold, 15 gold. Mostly about resources, I guess. And we could also do something heavier than the Ira infantry. They are incredibly cheap and have just enough protection to not immediately die. And they have magic weapons. And of course they have ice cold resistance. There is nearly no equivalent because the other guys all have spears instead and shitty protection. And then we have the Iron Crows, who would be the next best thing, but Like the Raptors, they're completely neutral. They're better fighters, slightly higher protection and moral, but yeah, they don't have resistance against CAW ice magic, which will come back to haunt us if we ever end up fighting our friends of Patala. Then we have the ice clads who have more cold resistance but zero shock resistance. Yeah. Let's see. Ice clads also have ice armor, which again good if we fight on our home turf. Not so good if we fight someone who isn't cold as ice. Ice armor 2 and ice armor 2. Yeah. That's something I don't remember actually. Maybe it's a chance from Dominions 5 to Dominion 6. Because I definitely remember the Storm Gods not having ice armor. Well, that means... Well, the theoretical maximum is something like Heat 5, which would reduce the protection to 10. And Cold 5, which would raise the protection to an unbelievable 30, if I had to have the math right. So, well... But shock resistant is probably useful for the future. So let's put down, let's say 5 of them per turn. And since I now have the stabby guys, I guess I could get some Ira infantry since they have slash ice blades. Shorter range, but yeah, they're so easy to gather together. And next best thing would be the Spirehound warrior, who doesn't have a helmet, which makes him kind of vulnerable. So I guess let's stay the course with our area infantry. Okay. And I can get a shitload of those. So let's go full tilt in. Since remember our Earthbound are all long range for the time being, so we don't need archers, especially since archers are cheap but a liability if we start using storm magic. Then they start to fucking suck since even their composite bows won't hit for shit. And if our crossbowmen manage to miss, at least they also have other uses than just shooting. Also, if a crossbow bolt still hits, since it's armor piercing, it will be felt on the other side of the battlefield. So now we have rejiggered things a bit for the future. Here we are still continuing. Oh, I can add one more, I guess. Still want to keep something fresh for Jelenia Gora. And now I have to remember that since the Harab Elders take 2 turns to return, I will now have alternatingly one turn with less money than I expect, followed by a turn where I have more money than I expect. I just have to keep remembering I need at least one slot filled with Harab Elders for the near future, one slot with Harab Seraphs, at least one, and one slot that's just me recruiting sages, which we can next turn when the lab is finished up here. Palisades has been going on now for a while, it's still 4 months. Yeah, those are probably something like 2-3 months. That will be going on for a while. So, since we now have Lab and Temple here, and Lab and Temple next turn in Polgrave, this means our Zelenia can now go over, and we can start doing things over in Jelenia Gora. And then next turn, well, there are all those evil elephants on the way, but next turn I'll take a good and hard look what I have available in Caelum. And next turn, yeah, I have some troops here, but until I have at least some basic protection here finished, I'm kind of unwilling to march on. Of course, in an extreme, if I see troops suddenly showing up in Second Forest, then I guess Andromania is toast, and I will try to get at least Pine Grove at an absolute minimum. And at least I have some more early warnings if someone attacks here, and Polgrave gets some more resources from the forest over here. Oh, and the income isn't too bad either. This is, of course, a really nice province to have. And a nice consolation prize, especially if I can just put another fortress in here. It's also nice because flying commandos can just swoop over the range of shadows regardless of how much ice is blocking the pass. And it would mean another obstacle. Still, I would prefer to get troll canyons, but I have to be careful because those dog people can hurt us really badly, even if there are not many of them. No idea what's up there and why there are still independent provinces. I expected more Romania, but apparently Romania is to the south here. That's confusing. Well, let's see what we can do. In an emergency, I'll send out the flyers. But I also want to make sure our new throne is getting protection. And that's it, right? For now, we're still at peace. But this equilibrium cannot stay in a combat battle game like this. So, Libluini out. Hello people, it's me, Libluini, and we are back here with the Caelum part of my multiplayer Dominion 6 Let's Plays. We are again here on the side of EVE Online, which means we are the baddies. And we have some more developments. The war between our yellow and red friends goes on, and we are still not finding much of anything. Yeah, not even our pretender with his massive magic powers could find anything. Then we lost crippled units, and we had again Rimini attacking Andromania and winning, and then Raga attacking Andromania and winning Thautas. So they are Raga's mages, and they are similar to our own, but instead of air and water, they are fire, air and water, and can actually gain astral power if they are lucky. I get +1 path in those 4 neat paths here: fire, air, water, astral. 100%, and then it's over. So in 3 out of 4 cases you get a mage that has level 2 in 1 or 3 important paths, and if not, then at least they have astral and can be powered up. They're also level 2 priests that can fly, so that's a lot of things in a nice overview. And there is a Shah helping them, and a big block of infantry. The ice-clad Saiyans are of course also in the middle, right in the middle, and otherwise it was just a fairly normal battle in the Royal Green, so this means we probably have to do something. Since Andromania is probably not coming back. Yeah, the typical bird people attack, dropping right in the back row and stabbing everyone around them. Always neat if it happens to work, and in this case it worked, as you can see, because of the commander being dead. This is normally a good way to see that, yeah, he got stabbed by an attack in the back row. If flying people are involved. Worldwide event. Blood magic. Rituals are cheaper now. So this was in the Royal Green. So yeah, Raga is growing a lot. And is now taking over the second forest, so we probably should get a move on. The Troll Canyon is probably lost to us, but we can still get something here. The logical thing would of course be to use my pretender as a mobile machine to keep all my earthbounds immediately fired up. Since there are sacreds and barely beatable, but we need our god. So let's do the thing here. And laboratory temple, yes, it's all everything is built up. We're still building a palisade, and this guy can now switch to research. And then we'll make a little side adventure in Andromania, since Andromania is dead as doornails, deader than disco, so we can get 1 or 2 provinces. And since we are fairly superior to whatever army marched into Second Forest, let me look. Second Forest, yeah, That wasn't even Raga, that was just another weirdo with a red flag. Feminia, Feminia, and here starts Raga. Now that's a bit complicated, I guess. Yes, this is also Feminia. So they're basically marching here out in a very thin snake row between TNG and Raga, which probably means that one or both of them will see them soon as a big victim, because it's always risky to have a long string of vulnerable provinces out here. So let's stop them from making a grave error by marching even further east and getting in trouble with us to boot. We're getting this in. Huh. Vine ogres. Oh, independent attack. Yeah. That happens sometimes. Ulm is currently busy apparently with Vettiheim, but we have no idea what's going on there. Patala is now bringing down Bogarus for good. And we probably have to speak with them, because between the two of them I probably have them on my side against Raga. Because then it's less troublesome than for trying to find a way to fight ice with ice. That's always annoying. On the other hand, since Patala doesn't really have flying units, they probably have to keep everything together in a big blob, and we don't. So we won't be taking as much damage in a free-for-all as they would do. But before I make any decisions as to which way we are going, I really would hope to finish our little off-site colonies here. Palgrave, yeah, Lab Temple. Lab and Temple. Faircliff still has nothing. And we need more temples, so at first I'll guess I'm adding one temple. And one lab next turn. And then Selinis can, well, at first she will of course search for sites, and then she'll move on to Faircliff. Currently the lowest of our priorities. We are now getting harp seraphs in more than one province. So I'm really hoping the fortress is soon finished, so we can, yes, 1 month. So from next, so we're now getting this one, and then from next month onward we're getting 1 per turn. Sorry, 1 per turn. This guy has a weapon, so he gets priority. This is another Raven Lord. So, yeah, with such a small units, it's better to risk. Well, Shan is now our current garrison, whereas these guys will be a secret brigade for shenanigans. Same thing probably here. We'll probably keep Vida Fauna here as garrison and then build up secret forces. Here, I'm not so sure. It's probably a bit obvious. Right in the middle, surrounded by Patala. Here we have some troops going backwards and some outer researchers still going on. Ah yes, and we have this guy now here. I keep forgetting to collect those troops here, huh? So next priority is to find out what the fuck is going on over there, so I send another scout. Yeah, we have far too many of these weirdos. Do I have something left over here? Or nice, shady, stealthy prophet is back here. Currently we don't have that many provinces converted, but we also don't yet face a collapse due to me not having enough temples. Let's see. Main army is here. They have the ground units. And of course I've changed from my cheap raptors to expensive storm guards. So I'm guessing the Storm Guards now have to get an extra squadron. Luckily, each can have 3, so it's still okay. So for now, I'm probably trying to holy points. Oh, I can get another Earthbound. Ah yes, because we're in one of those in-between turns. Remember, Harab Elders cost us enough command points and we need 2 turns. And I keep forgetting because they have 4 commander points, but our Citadel gives us just enough that every second turn we can recruit another commander. Let's see if we can after I'm adding another Earthbound for this turn. Oh, our recruitment points. Ah yeah, population levels. So, well, okay. Some of those areas can still be recruited, so let's leave it at that. And now we can actually put someone in. Let's see. Here we get a new general. And we have... Okay, this is Army 1. Oh, we have... Okay, we already have one here. So this is then basically the first leader for Army 2. While our Prophet and Gauri and Shirak Shan... Oh wow, what a name. Probably should give him some kind of CCP related name, that's because Icelandic is probably easier to pronounce than this language. So let's go back up. This means logically that Stipe is part of Army 2. And this means Army 2 already has a leader as soon as Gaubrova shows up. So our garrison forces are okay and we're building up 2 more armies in our capital. This means we don't need currently another Storm General. But since only one of us can have a Prophet, and since we only have 1 Caretaker here, or is there another? No. That's probably not enough for a real army. So I'm adding in this turn another Caretaker. And that uses up our commander points, and we have... Oh, yes, of course, because it's a holy unit, we immediately unrecruit our Earthbound. But okay, that's good, because we can now add another Storm Guard. 21, yes. That works, sweet. Not enough for another area. Could add light infantry, but nope, it's also 9. So let's leave it at this. So then, instead of 1 more Sacred, we get 1 more Storm Guard. And with 2 Caretakers, we should be having enough for 2 full armies, so we can then change back to getting 1 more Harab Seraph per turn. So next turn, of course, not, because then we'll have to pay the price for full recruitment again, and that means no commander points left over. Millgate is growing. Yes, yes, yes. And, oh yes, of course, because there's already... Oh yeah, okay, I guess next turn I have to do some replanning. Either I'm combining forces to make my first army extra large, or I already have to start planning for a 3rd army, because I forgot that I have still so many elephants, mammoths and Earthbound left. Well, that's good for a future war. Well, this is still one of those in-between turns where we are researching and building. Not much has changed so far. We have 2 forts and 3 more are slowly building up. And then as soon as those 5 are at least at fortress level and have their temples and laboratories, I declare that we can attack for real. Anyway, research. Yeah, we have construction 5 ready, and 1 player already asked me to forge something for him, which I couldn't because I needed construction 5. But next turn we should be ready to rumble. Of course, this means I have probably more to talk about on Discord, off screen sadly. But yeah, that's it. That's it. We have this little compact bulge in the middle, south of the lake. And while we probably don't want to face Raga and Patala if we can help it, we'll probably have to face Ulm sooner or later, because we really don't want a full-on blood magic nation to reach the final stage of the game. Well, let's see. I could probably speak with Vettiheim and see what they are doing. Yeah, that's probably for the best, so not much left to do this turn, so Lipluini out. And we are back, yes, and this time I actually remember to interrupt my recording during the double turn instead of patiently waiting and then having to cut it out later. I don't know why I only remember this now hundreds of recorded turns in the future, but well, that's me, always dumb. Mao said, Tong Tot, the general has claimed the throne. Yes, so TNG is still going wrong. Growing strong, not wrong. We are still searching in vain for more sites. Then Andromania attacked with a scout. Okay, that was probably a desperation attempt, or they wanted to see what's going on there. All we can know is that some of their sorceresses, very strong. Astral magic not only means that you have spells available to power up all your other paths, it also means, well, Fire 2 is of course good, Glamour 2 is good, and combined with all the astral magic shit you can skip, that's basically already 3 or 4 or even 5 depending on how far you want to go. And Real Army is a nice tech. That means they can obfuscate the units they have in their entourage. That means the units they are commanding. So it isn't of any use if you aren't using a feminine sorceresses to carry around 80 magic beings, so that's actually fairly good. Wait, what? -1. Well, most magic beings are mindless, so I guess it isn't too bad. Yeah, so you have basically a strong mage who can also have a strong army of magical creatures with her, and thanks to Real Army you can't really see it. In their own lands, that is. So you will get to see them if they attack you, don't worry. And I'm guessing they had these sacreds with them, and those lady-at-arms, wheeled ones. Yeah, that's interesting. So basically he's using those two as his army leaders. Now I have to look up what's going on here. I keep forgetting team colored squares, because otherwise with my shitty eyes I have real trouble seeing what's going on here. Here they are, in flashy red. Blocks of how to kill units, and blocks of sacred units, also how to kill. And here they are, the mages, sorceresses. Yeah, they have lucky. I'm guessing it's part of their bless, since I don't see any items. Yeah. Nothing too unusual. Leadership is a bit higher due to experience. So I'm guessing, yeah, there is no other leader. He basically just put his units under the command of these two magic guards and just let his high moral units tank the loss of moral. I mean, it obviously worked, so until he gets attacked by units with even higher moral, who can take a hit, it's not exactly something you have to worry about. Now this of course would make it hilariously if I'm just dropping one of my big stacks of flying idiots directly on top of them. With their defense skill and their protection, they're not going to take many steps to kill. That's a vulnerability he should have thought about. Then we are here. We even lose 2 of our poor dumb idiots, and we are not even killing that much. Most of this is by our basic infantry. Sometimes hilarious things happen. Yeah, immediately blessed thanks to our god being with us on the battlefield, and then the main work is done by our basic infantry. That's because they can fly, of course. It's always hilarious. This also means our earthbound are still completely untouched. Then we had an event in Kune. Flagellants have joined. Fucking hell. Thanks to our stupid blasters, they're actually a threat to the enemy, but I have no idea what I should do with them. Oh, someone is cursing us in the range of shadow. I would tip on Ulm. It could be Femini, but they don't really have a lab that's in range, I think. So if this isn't a random event, it's probably someone... Well, they could... But it could also be Ulm. Ulm probably because they have more and stronger astral mages. So this province is ours. Some basic defense on top. Nice little income. And oh, he threw everyone off. Well, that's nice, of course. Because he is probably strong enough to make trouble for us. Now let's take a look. Is he even still playing? Yellow. All dog new tricks. Yeah, nope. He is still playing, even though I can't even see his territory anymore. Dragon Point is under siege, even though our scout doesn't see anything, but that's probably because it's Femini and counts as their own homelands. And Romania is still free. We need to see what's going on there, but it's not good, I guess. Okay, now we have entered the war a bit too early. Whoops. But I guess we can still defeat them, and at least I have tons and tons of units to throw away now. I just keep forgetting to collect those stupid units still sitting in those 2 provinces. Okay, that's my competence at work here. And I have, of course, these idiots here. What the fuck am I supposed to do with you? They're incredibly shitty in fighting. Normally they would only be good if they have something like an explosive blast to blow up the enemy, like suicide bombers. The flail does okay damage if they hit. And I guess they can swamp people with numbers. Oh, some of them come pre-wounded. That's good. That's fine. So we have a lot of wounded here. I keep forgetting the shortcut to show me what is afflicted and what not. Well, we do have some afflictions here. This one is weakened. Well, yeah, they are shitty units with only one purpose, death. Their moral is of course high as fuck because they are fanatics. Otherwise protection 0, hit point 7, yeah. Even with our bless, even if we can bless them, the end result is it takes the enemy 2 hits instead of 1 to kill them. And then suddenly have magic weapons, so they are suddenly a threat to anything that has invulnerability. But of course we have absolutely no one to even carry them. Oh, that's funny. Oh, we can't really recruit a caretaker now. Let's see what we are doing here. Well, okay, 40 is a lot of stuff. Now let's put these here. And I guess, since we're already having 32 units here, I guess I can get this guy some first flying units. I guess we have to activate one of our armies now. I'm just thinking. Let's give 3 elephants up here. Yeah, either they do something or they don't. But 12 is plenty. It's like having a battle mech company here in terms of firepower. And if strong magic rains down upon them, even 120 wouldn't matter. Well, okay, that's a lie. They could still do unimaginable damage. But also to your own troops if they run away, so don't. Morale is at least high enough to not immediately run away. That's always good. Oh wow, some of them already have a limp. Yeah, that's the reason why some of them in one of my last battles apparently didn't want to move as fast as everyone else's did. So Galway is now demoted to 2nd Army Group. Yeah, okay. We'll have to start at some point, I guess. I'm not sure if I just want to throw my more expensive guards immediately in the meat grinder and the back row. The sheep raptors, I'll use them first up. So this means now we have activated Gaubruva, this guy, and the one with the really hard to pronounce name, and at least we seem to have cleaned out anything and anyone spying on our capital for now, so I don't really have to care. So we have this block of ground pounders, and then we have this group of assholes who can fly, and to make matters a little bit better on us, we need our prophet. If I can see him, that is. Fuck, no. You're supposed to stay. This is our new Harab Elder. And as a useful little gift from the game, he has been given free death. Free earth would also... free air would also be neat, but, well, I take death. Oh, that sounds wrong somehow. So now this is our first army moving out. Yes, because we need to lay this fortress under siege as fast as we can possibly be, just in case the player becomes spiteful. And of course, this army has to move out now. 80 units are a lot, I have to say, especially since they are also mages. This is of course problematic. We really don't want to lose our stupid asshole of a pretender. So I'm kind of in a bind, because if I move immediately and Andromania moves out, well, that's it. We are done. Sadly, what we can't do is moving immediately over here. Oh, I can. Huh. Okay. Huh. Well, okay. That's a lot safer, because then I have over 100 units, I think. All concentrated with some magic support and our battle group center. Yeah, that should be enough. And now we have this other army group. This guy plus... Oh, there is still a Raven Guard I haven't seen yet. Well, let's send him to Polgrave then, so we can have multiple Raven Guard squadrons. Then we have this guy. And this guy was on patrol right now. So our flying units are now under command of Stipe for Army Group 2. And this guy is our new ground pounder force. 5 mammoths and a lot of these guys. So as soon as I hit 40 or 12 mammoths, I'm guessing the second army is ready to rumble. Of course, I also need some caretakers. We have one. And 2. Should be enough. It's up to 50 units blessed if the numbers are lucky, and we are still at 23 sacreds, so maybe I add a third one to be on the safe side, because our Harem Elders are still too important to use this way. So now over here we can now build a laboratory. And with this place is finished. Palisade is going up in 1 turn, some basic protection here. Faircliff, yes, 2. And Millgate has its fortress finished. So since it's directly next to our giant citadel with 1500 wall integrity, and this is a perfectly respectable 500. So until there is some kind of giant army coming, I'll just keep piling up harem seraphs for now, because we need them. Yeah, now we start getting into the useful range for our hidden troops. And since we don't have any magic gimmicks to hide our troop strength, I'm putting my Ravenlord on hiding now, so this means the units he commands will now disappear from enemy scout reports. We're now concentrating forces in the range of Shadow, because I'm guessing that's the most likely counterattack. And if he is nice enough to move troops upward to Palgrave, well, let's see. Oh, 2 months, so even if he immediately strikes north, 1, 2, nope, he comes up in 3 Pine Grove just as the new castle fortress is finished in its first level. Nothing to worry about. No, 3 Pine Grove is ours. Next turn we'll see if he is moving troops out, and if yes, against us or someone else. And if he moves out into Old Man Mountains, I of course try to see if we can abuse the fact that only one side of the pass is frozen, and see if we can march through with our mammoths. Or if the troop strength is low enough, I can just drop all my flyers on him, or if we just march into Troll Canyon and heavily abuse the fact that apparently the other players have so far just ignored me. I mean, some players even asked if I wanted to take some provinces, so I guess my help is even wished for. So let's take what we can get and prepare. Oh fuck, yeah, of course. I have to do with these assholes here. Hey, you, my friend. Well, we have also this Ravenlord here. Of course, my army can now collect the units there. Let's do it like this. Fuck, he needs 2 turns. No. So at first I'm collecting these idiots to see if I can use them somehow. And then... let's see. Oh yeah, there are not enough units to fill up this one, so I can then immediately transport them into Caelum. And I have to remember I can just recruit more Ravenlords, so no trouble right now. Of course, because I want to be a super asshole, I let both my Ravenlords hide, and only Shan with his little troop of defenders is now visible. Oh, of course, Raga is concentrating heavy cavalry. That's always a fuckery. So we'll have to continue getting our stupid mammoths, because there are only units strong enough to take a punch currently. Our Earthbones maybe too, but they are still untested, simply because right now nothing has so far survived for long enough that I had to use them in appreciable numbers. Now let's go to our research window. Yes, we have construction 5 now, and we can start with our planning. We still have some levels to go, so let's run here. Thaumaturgy, let me guess, I want to teleport, yes? Yes. Now let's continue here. Evocation, Banefire, that's level 3, and it's something we don't really have, really. Some useful spells to add to our arsenal would be nice. Ah yes, enchantment. Wiseborn will soon be unlocked. I should probably get Storm, just in case. So let's upgrade Alteration and Evocation a little bit. And, oh, already standard Thunderstrike. And Orb Lightning is a neat little spell. It doesn't do much damage, but since it's chaining and hits both Rider and Mount, you can hit up to 7 targets, which is a lot. So basically, this is kind of a misnomer, because instead of 5 damage, it's more something like 5 to 10, 20, 30, 35. So if you have lots of air mages, they can do a ton of damage with this shit. Only drawback, it has much range. Thunderstrike can only use if you have air magic free or a way to power up your mages, which means you need Storm, but it does a shit ton of damage, takes a shit ton of fatigue, and has a range that's the entire battlefield. That's what 100 squares mean. You also can cast it fairly fast. So while the area of effect is just 1 block on the ground, 26 plus armor negating damage and Thunder Shock, which has a huge area of effect of 10, does some extra damage. Yeah, those things are like hammers coming down from the heavens, killing you. Wrathful Skies is a battle enchantment. It does 15 and shock damage whenever a lightning strike comes down. Of course, since not all of our units have shock resistance, and since we tend to have giant mass armies, it's not really that useful for us. Thunderstorm is a global that is a massive damage attack. It's basically 40 and more Thunder Strikes all hitting an army. And since Dominion 6 actually models and simulates this like a battle, there is not much way you can get out of it. In fact, it's just magic. Part of the turn order, the spell is casted, a battle starts with your army, and you have to see and watch while 40 and more Thunder Strikes come raining down, hitting you. And then you hope there are not too many people killed by it. It is kind of nasty, but you also have to get level 7. And oh yeah, I forgot to show this off, but you can also get Elemental Opposition of Earth, a new spell that is just eating up tons of air gems and then makes Earth enchantments weaker. All active global Earth enchantments. So in turn, it's practically a dispel that hits everything that's elementary opposed to air, which is Earth, and hits all of them at the same time. And under all rules, your spell could bounce off, which was kind of shitty. But under the new rules, even if it bounces off, the global is then weakened and can easily be dispelled. It's kind of nasty if we look up and see something like, what is the shortcut? Yeah. See if in this list there's suddenly like 3 or 4 different Earth global spells active, and it's one of your enemies who has cast all of them. Then with a strong air mage, you can be a really cheeky bastard and try to take them all down at once. Most commonly, even the stronger players will have tons of gems to really overcast 1 or 2 of the globals, but not all globals all the time. So if you hit all of them at once, there's a good chance you can hit 1 or 2 good ones and bring them down. So, let's leave it at this, but we need more alteration anyway, so let's go. Now our research core is full again. Recruitment, movement, and everything else is done. One thing, someone wanted me to forge winged shoes, which we can now, right? Yeah, we need level 2, and it's 10 air gems. question is now, do I ask for something like 11 or 12 air games or something like 10 astral? Since we kind of need both. Ah yeah, of course, we can of course now start our silly little gambit. Let's see, I need the Storms pool. Course construction bonus 2, which means the course construction spell, if used by a unit carrying a Storms pool, summons not 1 but 3. That means suddenly you pay 1 gem and get 3 units, so that's a lot nicer than just paying 1 gem and getting 1 unit. Also the unit, the commander carrying it gains shock resistance and gets overcharge damage. It's only cost 5 gems, so carried in combat, anyone striking the wielder might get stunned by the energy. So that's basically gives the wearer the same power as the causes. Then we have the Skull Staff, which is just +1 to death magic, very useful for our new death mage. Then the Shock Trident. It gives only shock resistance and has some shock magic. Shocking, of course. The Star of Darkness. Interesting. Causes fatigue. And we have the Lightning Spear. Another shock weapon, this time only for 2 guys. There is later under construction 7 another even stronger item that also improves course construction. But the Staff of Storms is mainly used to insta-cast Storm at the start of battle. And it's fairly expensive, so you probably don't want to use it just to construct courses. So now we have lots and lots of options. Since I don't want to use lose a level 3 death mage, that would suck. I'm using one of my level 2 death mages to, at first, give him a Skull Staff as a first gimmick. Then I need Storms pools, so we can start. I'm forging 2 at once. And then next turn we are setting up 2 of our Harp Seraphs to summon them. And I'm starting with Caelum itself because it's furthest away from the borders. And this means it isn't as heavily watched. And I really want to have a little bit surprise here. Because nothing would be funnier if we managed to get several hundreds of them done before anyone notices. Well, let's start small. After all, I also need gems. Since we are at +2, I will do the following. I'll start with 2 Storm Spools, and then we can get 6 courses per turn. And then I'm thinking of how many air games I want to spend. You know what? I'm probably asking for air games when if I'm forging for the other guy. Do I have a level 2 MH? Yes, of course. At least one I have. That is, of course, the best one. Then one is a Side Searcher currently, and we have several more who have Death too. Where is the dumb asshole? No. Oh, looks like my game is lagging again. Oh, he is still searching. I guess if I want to forge, then I'll have to put down my poor Harab Elder with his 18 research for a turn. Well, I'm asking for 12 air to be on the safe side. That should be enough. It's still a trade where I'm basically losing because one of my strongest mages is sitting out a turn. So I'm done for now. But since I haven't spoken and finalized it with the player who wanted winged shoes and haven't finalized the deal yet, I'm forced to do something which I don't like doing too often. That is mark turners unfinished, which uploads what I have done, so it's not lost, but means the turn timer won't turn if everyone else is finished first. So this means I have time to talk with the other player and see if he still wants his winged shoes. Otherwise, we turn his winged shoes into 2 more storm spools. I mean, I will do it anyway, just with, you know, if I get 12 air games for an item that costs 10 air games, then of course I will turn those 12 also into storm spools and undead. But that's future. So, Libluini out.